The ground trembled. A powerful force was charging forward. The grizzly bear, a giant capable of overwhelming an opponent with a single surge. But that power comes not only from its strength, it also comes from the calculation behind every move. In the wild, a single well-timed moment can be enough to shape the outcome. So what makes this giant a presence that commands caution from every creature around it? The grizzly bear is one of the largest land predators in North America, weighing up to 900 pounds and possessing remarkable strength. But behind that massive frame lies a combination of memory, observation skills, and adaptable strategies. It can hunt, forage seasonally, and make full use of its surrounding environment. In the wild, the grizzly bear is not only a symbol of power, it is also a testament to the ability to adapt and endure. Across the snow-covered forests of North America, when food becomes scarce, the grizzly bear, a solitary predator, may encounter a wolf pack, a highly coordinated group. Despite their very different strategies, they rarely push a confrontation to its limit, because even a minor injury can carry a heavy cost during the harsh winter season. But when hunger becomes overwhelming, the wolf pack is forced to compete with the grizzly bear for food. They move constantly, applying pressure from multiple directions. Rather than confronting it head-on, the wolves rely on harassment tactics, approaching, then pulling back, forcing the bear to expend energy. This strategy can continue for hours. The grizzly bear chooses to hold its ground. It rarely moves away from the food source, responding only when the wolves come too close. At times, a few decisive steps are enough to drive back those that approach within range. Every attempt to move in is turned away, while the risk continues to grow. Gradually, the wolf pack's formation begins to spread out. As the energy they expend starts to outweigh any potential reward, they choose to withdraw. In the frozen wilderness, numbers do not always guarantee the advantage. In another setting, the outcome can be completely different when a grizzly bear encounters a wolf pack driven by extreme hunger during a harsh winter. This time, the wolves no longer rely on quick approaches and retreats. The intensity of the pack pushes them into a relentless state of determination. They apply constant pressure, giving the bear little opportunity to recover or rest. Its massive size, once a clear advantage, now becomes a burden. The bear begins to tire quickly under the sustained pressure. When it realizes it no longer holds the advantage, it is forced to turn away and retreat into the deeper forest. Each year, as autumn arrives, millions of salmon begin an upstream journey that can span more than 1,000 miles. One of the most demanding migrations in nature. Steep rocky passages and powerful currents steadily drain the strength of each fish. But at these natural bottlenecks, another predator is already waiting. At a low waterfall where water rushes over a rocky ledge, the salmon are forced to leap through. The grizzly bear barely moves. It remains perfectly still, choosing the exact spot where every jump must pass. There is no need for a chase and no need to waste energy. The moment a salmon launches itself out of the water, the bear reacts instantly. With a precise interception in midair, swift and decisive, the fish's long journey comes to an end in a matter of moments. For the grizzly bear, this is a critical time to build up dozens of pounds of fat in preparation for the many months of hibernation ahead. That is why the strategy of simply waiting in the right place is not just an intelligent choice. It is essential for survival. The fish remains that the bear carries onto the shore, when not fully consumed, help nourish the entire surrounding ecosystem. A quiet but enduring cycle of survival. Across vast stretches of wilderness, grizzly bears usually live solitary lives, avoiding unnecessary encounters to conserve energy. But when food, territory, or breeding opportunities are threatened, that avoidance disappears, and they are forced into a direct confrontation. When two male grizzly bears of similar size encounter each other, tension rises immediately. They display their size and strength as a warning. If neither one chooses to back down, the distance between them quickly closes. The collision is powerful and deliberate. They lock together with their front legs, each trying to gain the advantage through weight, strength, and leverage. Every movement becomes a test of endurance and determination. The contest can last for hours until one bear loses its advantage and is forced to withdraw. The bear that remains gains control of the area and the opportunity to breed, but the cost is far from small. Even the dominant bear expends an enormous amount of energy, a significant risk in an environment where every calorie can be critical to survival. Elsewhere, a very different confrontation unfolds. A mother grizzly is foraging with her cub. For grizzly bears, young cubs face constant risks from adult males, which may remove the next generation to accelerate future breeding opportunities. As the threat draws near, the mother bear immediately moves forward, creating pressure and giving her cub time to reach safety. Despite being smaller, her determination allows her to gain the initial advantage. A series of rapid swipes and agile movements forces the other bear to hesitate. This is not a contest to determine a winner, but a clear warning. The male bear may be much larger, but a mother bear protecting her cub is never to be underestimated. After a few seconds of confrontation, the mother bear quickly withdraws and leads her cub away from the area. Autumn sweeps across the taiga, marking the beginning of one of the largest migrations in the Northern Hemisphere. Thousands of caribou, from fully grown adults to young calves, form a living river as they move southward to avoid the coming snow and ice. Moving alongside them is the North American grizzly bear, quietly seeking opportunities to build energy reserves before hibernation. At a narrow valley, the caribou herd is forced to pass through dense vegetation. Visibility becomes limited, movement slows, and the younger animals are more likely to fall behind. The grizzly bear waits patiently. When a young caribou falls out of step, an opening appears. In that brief moment, the bear makes a decisive move, bringing the pursuit to an end in an instant. The rest of the herd continues its journey. For the bear, it is a valuable source of energy. For the caribou, the migration continues without pause. In the taiga, the advantage does not always belong to the fastest animal. It belongs to the one that knows how to wait for the right moment. Across the mountains and open forests of North America, the puma is a solitary predator whose territory can span hundreds of miles. Fast, elusive, and precise, it rarely chooses a direct confrontation with opponents that hold a significant size advantage. When a puma encounters a grizzly bear, its first response is almost always to retreat. The difference in size can be several times over, making any confrontation a serious risk. For a solitary predator, an injury can mean losing the ability to survive on its own. But that pattern changes completely when a mother puma has cubs to protect. At that moment, any potential threat becomes impossible to ignore. When a grizzly bear moves too close to the denning area, the safety buffer disappears. The mother puma takes the initiative, closing the distance and applying pressure with speed and surprise. Some of the few advantages she has against an opponent that is far larger and stronger. Faced with such determination, the grizzly bear recognizes the unfavorable situation and chooses to move away. In the wild, strength is not always measured by size alone. In North America, the moose, the largest deer species on Earth, can stand nearly 7 feet tall at the shoulder and weigh around 1,500 pounds. With its massive antlers and powerful long legs, a fully grown adult has very few direct rivals on land. When a moose wades into shallow water to feed on aquatic plants, its speed and agility are noticeably reduced. Each step becomes heavier as it moves through the mud and water. From the edge of the brush, the grizzly bear watches patiently. Then a sudden charge from behind breaks the stillness. The bear quickly commits its strength, trying to force the situation in its favor, while the moose remains in the water. The moose attempts to pull away, but the bear has already closed the distance and taken control of the space. The struggle continues in the murky water. As the moose's movements gradually slow, the advantage shifts toward the predator. The encounter comes to an end amid the quiet stillness of the marsh. For the bear, it becomes a valuable source of energy. In the laws of survival, size can provide a powerful advantage. But when the environment changes, the balance can shift as well. A single well-timed moment can change the entire course of survival. Strength, strategy, and patience all come together in every step of the grizzly bear's journey. In the wild, there is no absolute ruler. Only those that adapt more effectively endure. If you want to keep following these challenging survival stories, Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And who knows, perhaps the next story will reveal a whole new way of seeing the natural world.